Yes, it's John G. Sutton, Tales from the Jails. Yeah, today I'm going to talk a little bit about the history of a prison in West Yorkshire. It's known as officially as HM Prison Leeds, but colloquially it's known as Armley Gaol. Now, if you've ever seen Armley Gaol, it looks like a castle. It looks very much at the front quite similar to a place called Skipton Castle, but it's a jail itself. It was made and commissioned in 1847, so it's a really old prison, and it was constructed of locally quarried stone. It's built out of stone, not bricks. Yeah, well, the bricks there, of course, but originally the original building was made out of stone, big lumps of stone. Go and have a look at Armley Gaol. It's best to look at it from outside the van, by the way. If you're in the van with the cuffs on going in, it's difficult to get a look at it, but it's quite picturesque if you like castles and jails. Yeah, listen, Armley Gaol has got a notorious reputation. It had the second highest rates of suicide in the country, according to the Howard League for Penal Reform. In the early noughties, that's 2005, something like that. And it also had the highest use of drug abuse by inmates. That was the Prison Reform Trust that reported that in the year 2003. It had extremely hostile staff. According to the HM Inspectorate of Prisons, the staff were extremely hostile when they paid a visit there in 2008. The prison itself serves the West Yorkshire area, which is, of course, Leeds, Bradford, all that. Yeah, quite a big conurbation. It serves the courts, of course. Famous inmates include Charles Bronson, who's probably been in more prisons than most of us. He's been in more prisons than me. And I have actually been into Armley Gaol in, I think it was 1982. I was on a senior officer's development course, believe it or not. I think they just sent me there to get me out of Manchester. They certainly weren't intending to promote me. Yeah. No, they were just a bunch of bastards, that lot. Seriously, it was quite an interesting visit to Armley Gaol. I enjoyed having a look round. It's ancient, you know. I mean, don't forget, it's like 170 years old, something like that. So you're talking about a really... But in them days, you know, one man to a cell, you see. One of the other famous inmates of Armley Gaol was a man called Charles Peace. Charlie Peace. Have a look at that. Yeah, he was an infamous villain, yeah, in early Victorian times. The Yorkshire Ripper was in there. Peter Sutcliffe. Pity his mate didn't get in there. Jimmy Savile, yeah. Did you know that Jimmy Savile used to visit the Yorkshire Ripper when he was in Broadmoor? He took Frank Bruno with him to meet the Yorkshire Ripper. I think obviously Jimmy Savile was mentally ill, yeah. Should have been in there himself. And whoever actually gave him authority in an institution for the criminally insane, that they should be under lock and key, because they're going to be thinking straight, can they? But Armley Gaol, 1847, it's still going today. It's got a capacity of, apparently, a certified capacity of 1,212 inmates. That's the capacity, but it's probably got a lot more than that. Yeah, it used to be used as a site for executions. So there were a number of executions at HMP Leeds, between 1847, when it was opened, and 1961, when they curtailed the use of capital punishment. I've been asked a number of times by people, but what do I think about capital punishment? I don't think it works. Because people are not thinking that they're going to get discovered when they're not bothered when they're committing violent acts. It's just the last thing on their mind. And punishment doesn't work like that. I mean, look back. If you go go online and have a look at the paintings of Hogarth, yeah? Look at paintings of Hogarth of executions in London. You'll see people in the paintings, the drawings, yeah, being hung, and at the same time, look in the crowd, you can see the pickpockets are still active, and the people on the scaffolding are being hung for stealing and robbery and basic stuff like that, pickpocketing, and so it doesn't deter anybody. And the capital punishment is far. I mean, it's easier to get hung and get out of it than to be doing 20, 30, 40 years inside prison. It's extremely dispiriting being in prison. It was bad enough being a jailer. Never mind having to spend each night there. And specifically, if you're semi-literate, I mean, I could read books. I'd go through the library. Definitely. In fact, when I worked at Strange Ways, when I was on nights, I read, what was it? Karl Marx's book, yeah, Das Kapital, about the communist look at Britain and how the system works, capitalism, and the value in the actual labour, where you don't get paid for it, do you? And basically, the Industrial Revolution completely changed the way that we worked, because it was an agricultural society before we had the Industrial Revolution, which was founded mainly in Manchester, but certainly in Leeds, where they had many spinning mills and cotton mills. Leeds, Bradford, that area. And of course, when you've got that, it was bringing a certain amount of prosperity to the area, and with prosperity comes thieves. And Armley Jail was there to answer that little need. So that's today's little talk on a prison, Armley Jail. If you have a look at it, you can Google it, have a look. Big prison, just looks like a castle. And as I say, it's an ancient place, still going today. But according to the reports, the recent reports, it's much improved. So now's the time for all good men to come to the aid of the party. That's the song dinger. Yeah, and I'm going to give you a song. Are you all sitting comfortably? Well, I didn't sing last time. I've been doing some poetry. So I'm going to do a song this time. That's made famous by Jim Reeves. Somebody actually commented that I did quite a good version of Jim Reeves, so here we go. I'll see if I can emasculate this one for you. It's called I Won't Forget You. But you'll want to forget this by the time I've done. Are you sitting comfortably? Good, then I shall begin. I know that I won't forget you. I've loved you too much for too long. Though you don't want me now, I'll still love you till the breath in my body has gone. That's how it is with me, and you'll always be the only love I ever knew. I'll forget many things in my lifetime, but my darling, I won't forget the only love I ever knew. I'll forget many things in my lifetime, but my darling, I won't forget you. Right, I bet you wish you could forget that, don't you? Tales from the Jails, John G. Sutton. Do like and subscribe. I'll be back. I couldn't do yesterday because it was the Queen's funeral. All respect. God save the King.